Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Now we've been caught a little bit here on the hop, so what we're going to do is I thought it's about time we had like a little bit of a room tour, so you guys get to see how things are sort of starting to take shape, and how some things are basically not taking shape. So we're really in the process at the moment. We're trying to get all our bits and pieces sorted out. And as we said before, we're also going to try and actually get ourselves to a point now where we can have a rethink about where we want to go in the future regarding our spiders. So which means which ones are we going to continue with and which others are we going to let go. Now we've got a number of really cool projects that we had set out. So there's some of them we're gonna continue with. We want to carry on with, and some of the others we're still a little bit on the fence. We're not 100% sure what we're going to do with them. So I thought what we'd do is we'd have a little look around. I mean, as you can see now, I'm sure Camera Lady has panned around, and you can see that the room is filling up, and we've still got a few bits to come back. There is still some stuff to come back this coming weekend. So we've got, limited space for the time being. Now we're looking at being able to get our outside place. We are still going to be looking at probably next spring, summer, really, before we can realistically get going with that. So I thought what I'd do is I would streamline some of the collection and just concentrate on what we feel are the important bits that we want to play around with, and then we'll move some of the other stuff on. And then what we can do is once we get set up in the future, we can then bring some of these back in again and start again. It just makes sense to downsize a little bit, because it's very difficult to work like this. As you can see, we've got boxes everywhere, we've got tanks on the go, we've got all sorts of stuff. Now, as you know, breeding is one of the things that we really do like to do here. We love to be breeding our spiders, and it's very difficult to do that in this kind of situation, or I find it very difficult anyway. So we're going to have a little bit of a sort out. So I thought what we do, we'll have a little look around, and we'll take you guys along, and we'll see what we got. Some of the old favourites, some of them are popping up, and yeah, and try and sort of like make a little bit of sense out of this room. I don't think it's the easiest thing. We're going to move this heater along because it's going to get in the way. I thought we start over here and we'll check out. We've got you remembered we had our blondies, our sturmies, and our apotheosis. We started keeping most of them in these, and so these are all on the floor. Now I want to change how we do this because I'm not happy with this situation. It's not ideal, and I'm thinking we did start keeping them cooler, and to some extent that has worked really well. And basically all of these spiders, all the big sturmies, the blondies and the apotheosis, are all been in a cool down mode for the last 3-4 months. They've had it much cooler than what they would have done. So now what I'm thinking of doing is running some heat through the floor and then putting these on top of some heat cable, and then that way we can gradually warm them up. I've got fresh mature male sturmies, and I've got a male blondie. He's not particularly young anymore. He's probably about 8 months old now, I should think, but we'll give him a go. We'll see what happens. So we're gonna have a bit of a play. So let's have a little look. We've not looked in these for about a week, so we tend to. Oh, this one's molted. This one's molted out. Look at that. Nice big molt there. Now we check these on a weekly basis. They ain't been molted too bad. Look at that. Lovely big molt. I can hear you all screaming, the hares, Dave, the hares. It's not so bad. Let's have a look. Oh, look at her. She is looking absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you can see the red in the legs. Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Look at that. Yeah, that is looking really nice. So we're going to we'll be getting ready to pair this girl up, and I'm hoping that if we can slowly warm them up, then I think what we'll do is we'll pair them while they're cool now, and then what we'll do is we'll warm them up in about 6 to 8 weeks time. We'll start warming them up. So you notice the water bowl is empty, so we're going to have to come round and fill the water bowls. We'll do them. Like I say, we tend to check these guys once a week or so. We don't overdo it. We don't really want to be pushing them about too much. Try and leave them nice and quiet. And there's no need to be digging them out every day. You know, if you're breeding stuff, keep interfering with them is not the ideal way to go. There we go. All right, this is one of our big female sturmies. Now this girl has actually been paired, so we'll have a nice look at her. She's got a nice big abdomen on her, but I do really think that these guys are going to benefit by getting some extra warmth. Now you also note here as well, we often hear about the correct conditions to keep these guys in. Now you'll see in her enclosure she has got no burrow. Now she's got about 8 inches or so of soil in which she can dig in, and there was actually a hole underneath that piece of bark that she sat on, and she's filled all of that in, and you see this webbing all around the sides. She's literally webbed a dome all over the top, and this is where she's spending her time, and you can see by the enclosure she's done this for a long time. So she's not one that wants to burrow down at all. Really interesting. Now many people cry out that these guys have to have really moist situations. We've been keeping some of ours much drier, and it doesn't seem to affect them. We're still getting really good molts, even in a dry enclosure. So it just goes to show, you know, I think in respect to much of the husbandry that we see for many of our spiders is based on how and where that spider lives. So when we look at things like the sturmies and that, they're coming from tropical jungles, and it's very hot, it's very humid, and we know for a fact that these guys burrow down really deep. They've been known to go a metre down into the ground and disappear. Now, a metre down, it is really cold. It doesn't matter how warm it is in the jungle, a metre down is going to be cold. Now, I got a little idea that maybe with these guys, they go through all that time, and then when they come up in the spring and the summer, the temperatures are raising up outside, they come out, they pair up. It's in this hot period of time that they're actually dropping, I think. So we're going to play around with it. But the other thing is how moist is it down in them burrows? I say we've been keeping them quite dry. We've got one in here. This is a blondie. Now this will probably shock quite a few of you in terms of just how dry this actually is. Look at this. This here is bone dry. Look at that. Absolutely bone dry. There is no moisture in that at all. And this is something we've been playing around with this spider. Now, she's under here. If I lift this just very gently, hopefully we'll get to see her. There you go. There she is. Can we see her?
You get the light right.
Oh. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this girl, we've been experimenting with the amount of humidity that these spiders require or what they do best with. And this one here has been grown on now from a young spider. It's actually due a rehouse now. We need to get her into another tub. But this particular spider, as you saw there, she is now of a breedable age. She's big enough to pair. And we've been keeping her dry, but climatically. So like what we've been doing, we allow it to go for long periods of time, bone dry like this, and then we flood it out and we make it really, really moist. And we've been doing that now since she was probably about this big. And she molts while it's bone dry, no issues at all, which comes back to one of the other things that we've mentioned in the past about hydration in a spider. Hydration comes from their food and their drinking. Soaking an enclosure does not help molting. It doesn't work like that. And we've proved it with this particular spider. So she is a big, big, powerful spider now, breedable age, and she's in a very, very dry scenario. Now, I know a lot of you will sit and think, how on earth is that working? I did exactly the same. I was like, might be pushing my luck here. But we do this for a good few months at a time, and then we'll flood it out and we'll have it all nice and moist and everything else. But she is molted both when it's damp and when it's bone dry, no issues whatsoever. So very interesting point. And this is how we learn much of what we do with our spiders. This is how we get to see things and do things. And you have to, in a way, once you get to a certain point and you've got a good sized collection and everything else, and you've got a few years behind you, you've played around with many, many different spiders, it allows you the freedom to really test and see what's what. And this is what we're doing now. We're experimenting. Very, very important that we experiment, because this is how we find out the do's and don'ts. Right. Now then, let's have a look at something totally different now. Here we go. Here, these are spiders we've not shown on the channel for some time. These are our sand spiders. Yeah, these are our sand spiders. Now these are another spider. Oh, they're both actually out and about. That's a shame. It would have been nice if they'd stayed tucked away, but they feel any vibration, it often makes them move. Here we go, look at that. That one could do with a feed. This one's still good. What we do, we'll grab that one a little roach. Give him a little roach rather than a cricket. And we'll do that one there.
Look at that. It's so pretty.
Very pretty. Right. Let me see this one down in here. We zoom out a little bit because this is probably going to go all over. Put that in. Oh, we might be a little bit big. Oh, look at that. Now you'll notice now, pay attention to the actual spider and then look at the roach. That spider has now envenomated that roach. And you watch just how quickly that starts to change and lose, you know, how it dies basically. These guys have got a very, very powerful venom. And they're classed as one of the most venomous spiders around. And but there's been I think there might have been one case maybe of one actually biting a person. We're not 100% sure. It seems very sketchy depending on where you read the information. But these guys, although very toxic, I've found them to be really reluctant to actually do anything whatsoever. They have been the easiest spider in the world to look after. Look at that. That roach has just given up the ghost. He looks like he's almost gone. So although they have got a very toxic venom, they don't appear to be particularly dangerous to us. And all they ever really want to do is run away. They never show like a threat posture. They never give us any trouble whatsoever. All they really want to do is hide or run away. So that they have become probably the easiest spider in the whole of the collection to look after. Oh, look at this one. Look. He's burying himself. There he goes. Oh, look at that. I hope you caught that, because that was all very, very quick. What we're going to do now then, he's hiding now. He's ready to ambush for food. So we're going to keep an eye on him. I will get a little roach. All right, lose the light a minute. Let's get a little roach. This might take a minute, guys. Little roaches are very hard to catch. Yep, they're proving very hard to catch. Oh my days. Come on, David, what's the matter with you? Oh, a little bit bigger than what I was hoping for. Right, are you ready? Are we in? Just drop him in. Oh, I sort of half squashed him. A little bit heavy-handed with him. Oh, here we go. And normally they wait for... Oh, look! He come running out and thought better of it. Now, one of the things that we have noticed with them is sometimes they can be a little bit intimidated by the size of a food item. But that being said, that one is smaller than what the other one just had. He's been a little bit nervous. We can... That's it, yeah, he's got him. And you see how they just bite on. And that is it. Now, an interesting thing with these guys, many people that keep them overfeed them. And we on average feed these probably once every two months. And we'll give them a sized item like they've got now, and that will do them. They really don't need that much food. And you'll also note there's no water either. We never give them water of any description. These guys need to be bone dry. If they get any humidity within the enclosure, it's too much, and it will often kill them. Now, another thing that we've often seen, and we've played around with this before, is these spiders generally will hang upside down to molt. And we've put them in enclosures where we've given them sticks and branches to climb and molt out. And we've actually found that we've lost a couple doing it like that. Whereas when we're keeping them just on straight sand, so they can't climb, they can't do that, we've had molts that have been fine. They've not been a problem, no issues whatsoever. So I'm not 100% sure as to where that information originated from. It's rather confusing. We have had them successfully molt hanging upside down, but we've had issues with the same problem. So I know if we go on any of the Sicarius groups, they all say about having to allow them to hang to molt, but we have found that it does actually cause us issues, and we've lost some due to that molting problem. Whereas, be careful there, my love. There's a chair. So so again, it's one of those things that's in the hobby. It's out there in the literature, and you know, I know now there's bound to be some of you guys out there that are in the Sicarius groups and that, and you'll be like, Dave, you are doing it all totally wrong. All I can say is, when we've done it like this, we've not lost any in molts. So, you know, that's good enough for me. That is what I'm going to continue to do, because that has proved to be the most successful. Like I say, when we've given them climbing, we've had issues. Right, what else we got? Bloom. Right. I wanted to come round there then. We're going to have a look. This is one of Camera Lady's, one of her latest spiders. She absolutely loves this spider. And this is for a future breeding project. He only came in the other day, so he's a little bit feisty. Not feisty, he's just a little nervous. But look at that. If you want a beautiful spider, that is one very, very pretty spider. Now this came in from Ads Darcy over at Yorkshire Teas, and we quite often, there's many of us out there that are breeding spiders, and we tend to swap spiders with one another and move them on. This one came in from him, and we've also got a
Can I see his face?
Not really, because he's hiding, but yeah, look, he's hiding even more now. But we've also got our Subfusca Lowland from Ads as well. So that's for another project. We have a couple of females. So yes, absolutely stunning spiders. Many of the Panthobetas, the males are this exquisite colouring, and the females are generally just brown or real black, really nice dark glossy black. They are rather fabulous in their own right, but the males steal the show. They are without a doubt one of the prettiest spiders out there. Right, now this is another success. While we're talking about breeding, we'll try and show you this. I'm not sure how well this is going to work. This, you would have remembered, you regulars would have remembered a good few months ago now, before we moved from our last home, we were breeding the Gabonensis. I don't know, there's one there. There's a baby. Tiny little sling. Not sure. There's one over here. I get the light down here. Oh, can you see that? That tiny, yeah, you got it. Tiny little sling there in the centre of the picture. Yeah, so this is a success story. We paired these up just before we left the flat, and we ended up moving into caravans. There he goes, look, he's moving now. We paired them up, and this one has dropped a sack. Now, as you can appreciate, in amongst all that webbing, it's very, very difficult to see where or even if you have a sack.
Move the pot for me.
Where do you want it?
So it's that way. No, the other way.
That way.
Yes. Get the light out. Oh my God, you're blowing me out. Where's he gone?
He's still there. You need the light underneath him, you see.
No,
There he is.
Breaking it.
In the middle. So yeah, so they're very difficult to actually see. And they're tiny little slings. But we're really pleased with these. We've been wanting to do these for the last probably 18 months. And we had a couple of attempts that didn't really come to anything. But now we've finally done it. And we've got some youngsters. So that's really cool. That's a nice little success. We're really pleased with them. And it's not going to be long now. We can they can stay in there with mum, because they have actually shown that they can be quite communal and relatively happy for quite some time. But we're going to separate these. We're going to get them out and try and do it without losing our female. She's in there somewhere. And we've also got a couple of other females that we've done as well. So we just got to wait and see now. Pull them out and see what happens. Now this is another project. This is another one. Now this, pardon?
What you got?
This, have a read of that, because I can't say it.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Diamantinensis.
Very good. Very good. Right. So these are actually in their temporary boxes. This is what we moved this female over into. And she's made up a lovely little home. I'm going to get some light on her because look at that. What an absolutely exquisite little spider. Now these were held back for a breeding project. And I'm thinking what we're going to do is we are going to try and pair her in this box. And we'll see how it goes. She is absolutely lovely. I don't know if as the light gets closer you can see the green in the legs. The lovely red setae on the abdomen there. Very, very pretty spider. Now we've got a male. We've got a male. I can find him. Here he is. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. You know, she's nice and steady. Lovely little spiders. Isn't she wonderful? Now you think that's nice. Have a look at this guy. Now, I'm not quite sure how this is going to work because this guy does not sit still. So we're going to do our best. We're going to turn him around like that because this we're not going to be able to get to move this one. So you're going to have to do your best. We'll take the lid off. Look at him.
Oh.
Look at that. That is one exquisite little spider. You can see the green really shows up on him. This actually reminds me of a... Do you want me to move him to me a bit? Yeah? This reminds me of a male Celadonia.
Can you do the light properly?
Is it not?
No, you're creating it. That's better.
Yeah, this little guy really reminds me of a male Celadonia. Got them long green legs. Absolutely beautiful. So this is a male, and you're going to have to forgive me now because I've forgotten her name. But we have one of our subscribers. She sent this male in to us, and I must say actually that we really do appreciate the males that get sent in to us for our breeding projects. It really does help support the channel and everything that we're doing here. It's just absolutely phenomenal, and we get people messages all the time. You know, my spider has just matured out. Would you be interested? Yes, 9 times out of 10 we are interested in them. So always give us a shout if you have a male, and you know, quite often or not, if we can't make use of him, we probably know someone who does. So it's all very much appreciated. Right, so that's them. They're really, really cool. This actually, we're talking of subscriber males. Total opposite now. We've just had Cute and Fluffy. Now we've got Spindly and Spooky. I just pray he stays in the box. Let me turn this around, because I know once the lid's off, camera lady will go, can you move him? I'm sure she just wants to see one run. Alright, look at this. Now this came in from another subscriber of ours. And you can see there, that's a mature male. This is a sericata, and you'll remember the tunnel webs. These are often known as the Colombian funnel web. You see that beautiful carapace, that gorgeous gold. Absolutely wonderful. So we've now found our two ladies, a boyfriend. So that's really good news. And say this is another subscriber spider that was donated to the channel. Absolutely amazing. While we're talking of those, let's have a quick look. You remember we put them in their boxes. No, I'll come back to you. It's fine. Let's have a quick look at these. I do like these room tour business. This is quite cool. Now then, look at this. Now these are our females. And look at how much they've webbed. Absolutely phenomenal. Massive amount of webbing. Let's just get the stall for camera lady. Unfortunately, she is height restricted. There you go. Now you can see. See if they're hungry, shall we? Should we give them a try? Let's give them a try. They might come out for a bit of food. They might not. I'll just drop one in. Oh.
That's no good, Dave.
Yep, she took it.
Mm.
I didn't expect him to go falling right down the hole. Right, let's just drop one in there. Now they really work off the vibration, so I don't know where she is. Oh, he's going down and all.
Dave.
Oh. We need better trained roaches, guys.
Better trained Dave.
Yeah. I don't know where she is. But as you can see, they build these absolute wonderful web castles. A bit like our Balfouris. Very, very cool. This one is actually down there. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Let me turn that around. There we go. Just about see in there.
That's better.
Yep, she's.
Their bum.
Yeah, she's good. She's got her grub. So we will be trying those. They'll be really cool. Hopefully we get a nice little bit of footage of those. Something a bit different. Shame we didn't see them come tearing out to actually grab the food. That was a little disappointing, wasn't it? Alright, what else have we got? We're not going to play with any more funnel webs today, because last time we played with funnel webs they ended up running around all over the place. So we're not going to do that. What else can we do? I know. We can have a look at something. Do you remember our bullfrog?
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look at our bullfrog. Now, he's growing. He's growing. And we asked everyone for a name. And I think we might just call him Odin. I do like Odin. That was a good name that come through. And as you can see, he's actually got a fair bit bigger. If I turn this around so he's facing you, there he is. Look at that. You're blocking all the light out.
Hello.
There we go. There he is. And you notice there he's got his little bit of peach colouring just under his chin there. And he's looking all sort of gnarly on the top here. You've got to be careful because he thinks everything is food. He do like to have a bit of a munch on absolutely everything. I think we can give him a bit of food.
Yes.
Should we feed him?
Yes.
He's got a great appetite. We'll put him here. Got enough light there?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get him some grub. He likes these big female red runners. Nice big fat juicy things they are. There he is. I'll put one of them in there. God, look at that. He spun round and had that straight away. I don't know if you can see the bright green on him. The line on him is absolutely beautiful. I'll throw another one in. Here it comes. Here we go. There's another one. Now, these guys, let me move that. These guys, you silly thing, he saw it move out there. Here we go. Let me face you again. Oh, no. He's not the brightest, is he? Oh, he's got it. Now, you can have a couple more. We'll give him a couple more. He's such a character. An absolute cracker he is. We'll put these in there. There we go. I think that climbed up underneath him, didn't it?
I think it's in the moss.
Is he sitting on him?
Possibly.
He is, he sat on him. You daft so-and-so. Now, not putting my finger in there.
I think. He's lovely.
Yeah, we end up with him hanging on your finger.
No.
Come on, Roach, where are you? No, he's underneath him. He's actually sat on him. There he is. There he goes. He's gone straight back under there again, look.
He's a numpty.
Now you remember, if any of you guys have got these frogs, remember, don't give them too much in the way of deep water, because they like to sit with their heads out the water. So they only need a shallow dish, depending on the size of your frog. Here he goes. Is he going to grab him? Don't take a great deal to fill him up, to be fair. Now we also see online many people feed these vertebrates. So things like mice and stuff like that. This guy here has only ever had roaches, crickets and locusts. He's never had any vertebrates. Now that's not to say that he won't. We will give him a pinky maybe once in 6 months, and that'll be enough. It will just be a little treat for him. But they're not a staple diet.
Is he going to get out or not?
He's like
Asleep.
Hey, look at that. Marvellous, isn't he? Look at that. What a beautiful frog. You can see the yellow colouring coming out now. Looking really nice. You can see there as well, he's actually filling up. He's had, what did he have there? 4 or 5 roaches. That's enough for him. And we'll give him a starved day tomorrow, and then he'll have another roach the following day. We mix it up. So some days we give him a little bit of a bumper load. Other days we just give him 1 or 2. Just play around with him. We don't want him to get fat. We just want him to get into a nice shape. We also want him to be quite active. And of a night time, he does have a wander around. Now we're going to look at rehoming him. And we want to put him in maybe one of our custom tanks. They are big. So we might just have to make a bit of space just for him. and we'll put him in one of them. At the moment, the only custom tank we have in here is with our Bullfrogs in it, and the communal of Bullfrogs that we had, where we had 34 Bullfrogs in there, we have taken out an absolute load of males. So we've had many males come out of that communal. Now, I think if we have a look over there, we'll probably see there was one kicking around. I think he's gone and hidden away now. But the vast majority, we've had so many males out of this. I think what we might do is disband this communal, and we'll take our females out and we'll use those as breeding females, because this is no longer becoming a viable community, purely because there was so many males in it. So it'd be an interesting thing to actually sort of take it apart and see exactly what we've got left. We've only ever seen like 3 or 4 at a time in the way of females, but we keep pulling males out. We've I think to date we've had, I think we must have had 17 or so males come out of this easily so far. So it's very high males in that setup. So we might well disband that and literally perhaps put our Bullfrog in there, make a really nice home for him. I think that would be really cool. Now, in terms of breeding, we're going to be doing, we've got the Subfusca lowlands. We've got one up here. This is in a temporary thing. Now she's gone down into her tube. We might be able to get a quick look at her. So this is another one of our spiders that needs to be rehoused. But these have got such beautiful colouring. Look in there. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Very pretty. Very striking spider, these. If I turn it round, we'll have a little look at the front end. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? So we got a couple of females from these. Also note here as well, although we're shining a light in there, she's not afraid of the light. Many people say that their pokies are very light sensitive. I would beg to differ. I find most of ours will actually come out and sit in the daytime. They'll come out. When we shine the lights on them at the night time, we don't get no issues. They tend to just sit there. They're not bothered in the slightest. So they don't mind it. But you also see there that when we put it in there, as long as they're in the comfort of that cork tube, you know I don't like the cork tubes, but the spiders do. And when they're in there, they're very relaxed and they stay put. They're not afraid of anything. Right. Well, I think that'll do for today. We've had a little look around and we've talked about a few different bits. We've met Odin. He's growing up. He's really growing up fast. So we'll keep an eye on him because he's so cool. I'm so glad we got him. And yes, I think that's going to do it for today. We will be having, many of you have been asking about pairing videos. We have got lots and lots to pair up at the moment. So over the next few months, we will be bombarding you with pairing videos. There's going to be lots of different ones. Some of the old ones that we've done before, we're going to redo them again. Yeah, there's going to be a real mixture of stuff. And we'll have a good look and see what goes on. And hopefully we'll get a bit of success. We have a quick look in here. This is an interesting thing. Quick look down here. This is our king baboon that we rehoused on Monday. And you notice she's ignored the hole at the back underneath the moss. She's ignored that entirely. And she's built this hole down in the corner here. But she's spending all of her time up on the surface, which is quite unusual. One of the things it might be is the fact that the heater is not too far away from her enclosure, and I'm beginning to wonder whether she's coming out looking for the heat, a bit like the old Balfouras do. So yeah, there might be something in that as well. Another thing to think about when we come around to pairing them guys as well. Right then, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and something a little bit different. Until next time, don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I will see you soon, guys.